about being bad.
You're going to get your grandpa.
Ford Field in Detroit, the Lions have played well here, winning their last 3 in a row. Marty Schottenheimer, win-loss season in 17 years as a head coach in the National Football League. 9th on the NFL's all-time coaching list with 168 victories. Meanwhile, Steve Mariucci, his first full season here in Detroit, coming home. He grew up in Iron Mountain, Michigan. Trying to keep a positive spin on things here down the stretch. This is only the 8th meeting between these two teams. Detroit won the first 3, all played in the 1970s, while San Diego has won the last 4. And there's Jason Hanson coming off a tremendous week. 5 field goals in the win over Green Bay, and Leon Johnson tweaked his ankle. The return man for San Diego, coming off a solid return day against Kansas City, 169 return yards, including one for 60. Hanson set to kick, and we're underway in Detroit. Taken 2 yards deep in the end zone by Johnson. Brings it out to the 21. And that's where the Chargers will start 1st and 10. Now, there was some talk that Drew Brees might get the start this week, but Marty Schottenheimer decided to stay with Doug Flutie. Van Buren and Bogle are the 2 rookies starting on the right side. Raymer and Page also move into the starting lineup today. And of course, LaDainian Tomlinson coming off his 16th 100-yard rushing day, 106 last week against Kansas City. From the 21-yard line, just underway here at Ford Field. Tomlinson left side, picks up 1. The front 7 for the Lions defensively really starting to come together. Dan Wilkinson has been a great addition. Boss Bailey, the rookie, the Lions think he can be something special at outside linebacker, and Dre Bly, outstanding against the Packers. He's headed to the Pro Bowl. A great matchup today against David Boston.
David Boston, a little bigger, got good speed, but a lot of athletic ability with Dre Bly.
Well, the surge forward picked up 3, so it's 2nd and 7. Right side. The Lions are there. Just across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
They did a good job, like you said, on Thanksgiving, stopping the running of the Packers, and they'd hope to feature those 2 big defensive tackles we talked about, Dan Wilkinson and Shawn Rogers, and continue to make the team they want to put the game in the quarterback's hands of San Diego.
Well, it was a brilliant day defensively against Green Bay. The Packers came in as the best rushing team in the NFL, and they were held to just 52 yards. 3rd and long, opening series. There's a flag on the play, and it's well short of the first down. Well, let's check the penalty. Our referee today is Walt Anderson, and it's going to be a face mask against Detroit.
I never got to see a play get developed. Was it a fumbled snap?
Personal foul. Grabbing the face mask. Number 92, defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Maybe Flutie was just trying to run a sneak, or that's a long ways to go on a sneak, though. I didn't know if he fumbled a snap. He is. That's a goose play. There was nobody in what's called the A gap, the guard tackle gap, so he thought he could run for the 1st down.
Shawn Rogers was called for the face mask, so they spot it at the 42, and a fresh set of downs for San Diego. Tomlinson left side, dips in and outside, and the Lions are there to meet him.
You talk about pursuit. Earl Holmes, here's the guy they think is getting a little bit older, that he can play in a phone booth, but he just made an open field play. You'll watch him. He's right here, and he has to track down an unbelievable athlete. LaDainian Tomlinson has to turn it in, and there's a nice hit. Wow, nice play.
Holmes in his 8th year out of Florida A&M. 2nd and 10 from the 42. Osgood is the motion man for his first start today. They run the reverse. This is Caldwell, still on his feet, kind of picking his way across the field. There was a late hit. Someone got plowed.
You called
There's the flag.
I love it when you see it before the officials.
Well, they
You
just
do
have to
that.
reach for the flag, that's all.
Well, you have a flag here. Go ahead and throw yours.
Mine doesn't count. And it's going to be against San Diego, the late block.
The ruling on the field is the runner is down by contact. After the play was over, personal foul, number 79, offense, unnecessary roughness, 15-yard penalty. It will be third down.
Solomon Page starting his first time at the left tackle.
He struggled with an ankle injury this year, but they are so banged up in the offensive line.
Well, watch Page. I think he's right here. Oh, he got a little push, a little cheap shot. He hit, that was Barrett Green, I believe, hit him up high in the shoulder.
San Diego has yet to throw the football.
Third and a mile, would you say?
20.
That's when you let the player call the play. The coach turns his back on that call.
32. Flutie sidearms it and incomplete. It was intended for Tomlinson.
Little back swinging over, and didn't look like a great effort there by LaDainian. Didn't really try to make that catch with his whole heart.
So we'll see Darren Bennett, the two-time Pro Bowl punter, averaging 42 yards a kick this year. And Eddie Drummond, who's back from an injury,
Wow,
is
look at
deep, and a booming kick
Wow.
from the man from Perth. It's taken by Drummond at the 21, reverses his field, and then brought down close to the 30. 47-yard punt, an 8-yard return, just underway here in Detroit. To a great start on Thanksgiving against Green Bay. See if they can duplicate that today. They begin from their own 29-yard line. Plus Hakeem, who's struggling with back spasms this week, is in the game starting. That's good news. Right side. Sean Bryson. And since James Stewart was injured, it really has Bryson who has taken over kind of the 1A position. Meanwhile, Joey Harrington coming off his most efficient passing day as a pro in the win on Thanksgiving, 21 of 32, 65% rate. Brown at right guard will turn 41 on December 12th. His 18th year in the league, and Bryson needs to have a big day. The Chargers have struggled against the run. Detroit up quickly. Second down. Again, Bryson trying to get it to the outside, and he is knocked back a good yard. The ball is down, and San Diego has it. And we have a flag on the play. That's Zeke Moreno who returned it, but we have to check the penalty.
Wow, there's a great pursuit. Wiley got over there and then banged the ball out, I believe, and the penalty could take that touchdown away.
Marty's waiting.
Before the fumble, face mask, number 75, defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Marcellus Wiley. Marty's hot.
I saw Marcellus running quickly. I did not see him grab the face. He plays right here. Oh, I don't know. I don't know who had whose face mask on that one.
Might have been right there. Let's see, left hand. It looks
Left
like
hand,
he's in the vicinity.
He
Anyway.
has it. Yes, he did have it. Good call by the officials. I always like to agree with the officials.
Not quite done. They're going to say second down. Not an automatic first down, but it would be awfully close. So 2nd and 1.
There's Marcellus, who made a good play, other than he got his hand in there.
He's had a disappointing season, only 2 sacks. 2nd and short for Detroit. Can they keep it on the ground? I think both of these teams will probably approach this game in a very similar manner on offense. Not do anything too risky and take the occasional shot down the field. Well, defensively for San Diego, Adrian Dingle had a sack and a forced fumble last week. Salavea starts for Jamal Williams. Meanwhile, Donnie Edwards has quietly had a very solid season at linebacker, the Chargers' leading tackler. The secondary is young. Jammer with 2 picks last week against Kansas City. First down for Detroit from the 41. Harrington over the middle, incomplete. That was a very nice defensive play by Moreno.
Very tight throw, like you said. I was surprised he threw that ball in that tight of coverage. His progression read was 1. That was number 1, and he throws it to number 1. Watch right here is your tight end, and his first read is there. He sees it. Oh, just a nice drive, really, by Zeke. That linebacker drove that ball hard and got his left hand in there.
Great anticipation. Second on the Chargers in tackles. So 2nd and 10 for Detroit. 10-11 remaining in the first. Rice on the left side to the 45.
24, Sean
I started to say, since James Stewart was injured early in the season, the Lions have really gone with a running game by committee, but Bryson has emerged as 1A in that group. The Lions' leading rusher coming in, but still not fully healthy.
But a speed guy, a fast guy, Bill. You know, here's the guy that if he gets a crack, you'll see acceleration. That's what I like about him.
From the 45, 3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers to the right side. Harrington will throw. Incomplete, and that should have been caught by Oz Hakeem, right in his hands.
And he's coming across the formation. They got backs flaring that's set up to make a big play. Catch a 5-yard pass and turn it upfield, but you've got to catch it before you turn up.
So we'll see Nick Harris on 4th and 6.
He'll be coming from the right to the left. He's coming right here. Look, he's open. Look at the field he's got here, Bill. Look where he would have ran. That's what happens when you miss practice. He didn't get to practice, had that back spasm.
A flag is down. Johnson lets it go into the end zone for a touchback, but after the 55-yard punt, let's check the penalty.
He'll hold it.
On the Lions.
Decline it.
Holding, number 89, offense, 10-yard penalty. We'll replay 4th down.
Yeah, he wants to give Leon Johnson a chance to
Run her back. Yeah.
break that one. Absolutely.
Well, we'll see. He would have had the ball at the 20 had he turned it down.
That's Bradford Banta, who's the long snapper.
That was called for holding. That's unusual. A snapper can snap the ball, right?
Right.
And he usually has the gap to the right to snap the ball, reach to the right and hold. That's unusual.
Nick Harris, who started the season with Cincinnati, averaging just under 40 yards a punt, standing back now at his own 20. About to have a 55-yarder back. But another good high punt.
Excellent hang time.
Johnson takes it at the 15. He turned the corner and struggles down to the 30. A nice return by Leon Johnson, and Banta made the tackle. A 49-yard punt, a 14-yard return. 9:02 left in the first. And that's a sculpture of Joe Lewis's fist at Hart Plaza here in Detroit.
The Brown Bomber. That was big when I was living in Detroit.
As we're back, each team has had one possession. We're still waiting for the first complete pass. Second possession for San Diego. Keep it on the ground. Tomlinson, a nice cut back to the right.
Well, this is why you make the big money. This is a move that you can't coach. He's going to start off to his left, and he immediately sees it. He's going to start this way, say, nope, I'm coming the other way. Watch the hole open up. He sees it. Good vision. Look at the cut. Now he's full speed running. Pad under pad. Before he makes contact there, Bill, he goes lower than the guy that's trying to hit him.
A pickup of 13. Robert Bourchier said Tomlinson is as close to Barry Sanders as he has ever seen. Hold Caldwell is in motion. First down from the 43. Give it to Tomlinson again, left side. Tomlinson said, and it was in the papers this week in San Diego, that he wants to carry the load for the offense, driven out of bounds by Corey Harris. And he didn't do it really in a selfish way. He said, you know, I just think that gives us the best chance to win.
One thing Marty said, and he can live with anything that LaDainian says because of his personality, his character, and he just wants, you know, he just wants to do whatever he can do to win a football game.
How about that gaudy average, 5.4 yards a carry?
My rule was if you're averaging over 5 yards a carry, you're not getting enough carries. Feed the stud.
I think he's going to get a lot today. 2nd and 7. Caldwell again, the motion man. Play action. And that is caught, a big hit. Josh Norman, the tight end in his 2nd year out of Oklahoma. The Chargers are thin at tight end, with Alexander and Justin Peele both injured. Let's listen to that hit by Barrett Green, the weak side linebacker.
Little fake off the run, and then to the bootleg, the tight end. Oh, that sounded good. Nice job. Good hitting by the Lions.
They like Barrett Jackson. They like his speed, his movement. I think he's going to be around for a while, but shaking up on that play after his big hit, kind of nodding to his teammates. I'm okay. There's a timeout on the field. Back to Detroit right after this. Chargers have really struggled on 3rd down. They rank 31st in the league in 3rd down efficiency at 29%.
This is the one time 3rd and 3 that they may see man-to-man out of Detroit. Detroit's basically zone. They may see man-to-man, Bill.
3 wides out to the left at midfield. Gates, the tight end. And that was a nice reception. He caught an 18-yard touchdown pass last week against the Chiefs, and a very athletic tight end.
And it is man-to-man, full press coverage. Wow, right off his top of his knees. Now that's a catch right there.
Boss Bailey had pretty good coverage there. And Gates had not played football since high school. He was a basketball player in college at Kent State, runner-up for Player of the Year in the Mid-American Conference.
In basketball.
In basketball, Marty Schottenheimer thinks he has a chance to be one of the premier tight ends in the National Football League. First down, Flutie on play action. Guns it out to the corner, incomplete. That was intended for Gates to give you a good idea of how well he runs, but overthrown.
Well, the reason I think they're going to him is Boss Bailey, a linebacker's in the coverage. But here's where you liked him, Bill.
Yep, he was a terrific basketball player, and that was his focus at Kent State. Really didn't think about playing football, and that's why moves like that. Look at that agility.
He can play. I want him on my team.
Tony Gonzalez played basketball at Cal, but he wasn't that athletic. 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Flutie straight back. Caught, and that's going to be close to another San Diego first down. David Boston.
Wow, a lot of people think Flutie's 41 years old, but you got to see the ball come out. This is a curl route. He's going to come down, do a turn to his right, and the ball is RPM. Wow, that ball was turning. That ball had some zip on it.
Well, the Chargers feel it's important to get Boston involved in the offense early. That's when he's been his most productive, and he's really had a great last few weeks. In fact, in the last 2 games, he has 224 yards with 3 touchdowns.
Empty backfield, looked like a sneak. He had a sneak this one.
3rd
empty backfield.
And a little more than 1. And let's see where they spot it. It appears at first glance that he has enough for the first down.
I thought he would have ducked over to his right because there was less down linemen in that position. When they empty the backfield, they're trying to move the linebackers away from the sneak. So when there's no backs back there on short yardage, always look for the sneak if the linebackers will walk out with the spread formation.
So first down from the 30 for San Diego. The Chargers have been a terrible starting team this year. They've been outscored in the first half 209 to 103. That's a 106, and that's a -103, the largest deficit in the NFL. And Tomlinson left side still on his feet, and that's a great run.
Wow. Pulling the backside line.
21, LaDainian Tomlinson on the carry.
Brian Walker, the free safety, finally pushed him out of bounds after a pickup of 14.
I'm circling the guard. I'm bringing Phil around. Phil Bogle, he's going to lead. Once it, but they always misjudge his speed. They misjudge his athletic ability. And as Marty said, you don't have to block everybody. He can get by people that aren't being blocked.
5 carries, 34 yards, 8 plays on this drive, covering 54 yards. First down for San Diego from the 17. Flutie on the boot. Reverses his field, in trouble. Tomlinson wide open. And this is going to be a San Diego touchdown.
And that's what you get out of Flutie. Anybody else, he's in real trouble. Flutie, this play wasn't designed. This was just sort of made up on the run, and that's what Flutie does. It was a bootleg coming to his right. He ends up throwing a touchdown all the way to the backside.
So San Diego scores first, and let's take another look.
And here's LaDainian's way here. Now he's going to drift all the way out. He was looking here. The post was covered, and he found the back, LaDainian, who went up inside and became open.
And the kick is good.
Extra point is good, and Doug Flutie has the Chargers on the board, connecting with LaDainian Tomlinson. 4:14 left to go in the first. 7-0 San Diego. 9 plays, 70 yards. It took 4:48. The Chargers had 5 first downs on that drive.
And Marty's got to, he's got to be thrilled. He said, don't get behind early. Well, now they're ahead. They haven't been ahead much this year.
Mike Cyphers with the kick. It's high and short, and it's taken at the 10. Drummond is not backed at the 25-yard line. 4:08 left in the first. 7-0 Chargers.
Number 81.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by KFC Popcorn Chicken. Want 100% chicken breast in fun-sized bites? You got a KFC What's Cooking. And by Staples. That was easy.
The Lions have not been a productive team in recent years. The week after Thanksgiving, only 1-6 since 1995. And Steve Mariucci had his team right back to work on Friday, looking at film and getting ready for this game. He didn't want to take them out of the normal flow of the week. Second possession for the Lions, 1st and 10 from the 25. Short drop from Harrington. Swings that out to Gary, and Gary is driven out of bounds at the 28-yard line by Sammy Davis, the rookie cornerback. Well, Monday on an all-new Late Show, Dave welcomes Academy Award winner Matt Damon, plus the latest Survivor Castaway. And later this week, don't miss Julia Roberts. Dave's all new all this week. I'll pick up a 3 2nd and 7 now for the Lions. Left side, nice hole.
Number 24, Sean
Bryson says it's been frustrating. Jerry, you talked about him being a speed guy, but he's not fully healthy. And he feels like he's not been able to do the things physically he'd like to do playing football.
Watch 61. We've talked about Flutie being 41 years old, Bill. There's Ray Brown, the offensive guard, leading the play at 41 years old.
Well, he'll be 41 on December 12th. It's still pretty impressive down in the trenches at that age. His 18th year in the National Football League. 3rd and short. Harrington will throw and in trouble. Lofts it, incomplete. And that was a dangerous pass. It was intended for the tight end, Casey Fitzsimmons, the rookie free agent out of Carroll College in Montana. And the Lions just have a lot of problems offensively.
Well, he's got real good coverage on him, and Fitzsimmons played 8-man football in high school, so he never saw 3 people covering him because that would have been
half of
almost
the team.
half the team would have been on him. Here's a guy playing 8-man football in the National Football League. Carroll College is a little non-scholarship college in Montana.
But the defending NAIA national champions. High kick from Harris, taken by Johnson, and stumbles at the 20 and brought down immediately, swarmed under by the Lions special teams. Stephen Trejo leading the charge, nearing the end of the first quarter, 7-0 San Diego. In the first, and tonight on CBS, when an FBI agent hides his star witness at his mom's house, there'll be no peace on earth. Emmy winner Tyne Daly and Jamie Gertz star in Undercover Christmas tonight at 9, 8 Central, here on CBS. Now San Diego will operate from their own 20-yard line. Luther Ellis has checked in defensively for Detroit.
Another fine defensive tackle. They got 3 tremendous tackles.
Long-time starter at defensive tackle here in Detroit. 1st and 10 from the 20. I formation. Tomlinson. He burrows his way to the 25.
And Doug Flutie, you got to go back. Doug Flutie's 41 years old, playing a quarterback, but he's a quarterback at 41, still scrambles and runs. If we go back and look, here's Steve DeBerg. He was 44. Warren Moon, I got the coach, but not when he was 44. Earl Morrill at 41. George Blanda, he barely got out on the field. He kicked field goals more than played quarterback at that age.
They keep it on the ground on 2nd down, and it will be about 3rd and 3 upcoming.
Of all those quarterbacks, Bill, I think Doug's the only one that runs around and improvises. The others had a good arm and had good knowledge and sort of just dropped back and through. So that's what I think is so unique about this guy. He makes plays up, and that's how they scored the first touchdown.
2nd on the Chargers in rushing, 23 carries, 115 yards, and a couple of touchdowns coming in. After the spot, it's 3rd and 1, and they pitch it out to Tomlinson. He gets the corner, runs into David Boston, and finally dives down at the 37-yard line.
Now that's unusual. Here's a great back. I don't know what he was looking at, but he ran in. Look at him, he's shaking his head. He ran into his own man. His wide receiver is trying to make a block, and that's what you call run the darkness. He fakes the toss sweep and pitches it out. And now his wide receiver, wow, he ran right into Boston. He may not like Boston. He just hit him right in the back.
Well, he was down there blocking for him.
He sure was. Wow.
7 San Diego first downs, only 1 for Detroit. And Tomlinson a bit of a breather to keep it down. There's a flag on the play.
That's holding. That'll move him back.
Bracy Walker made the tackle.
Look at Marty. 1st and 10 penalty on holding.
Holding, number 64. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Phil Bogle, the rookie, is called for the penalty.
He's the guard right here. Let's take a look. He's got his arm up on the jersey number, pulling him around. If you get that arm down, here's how you coach this, Bill. If you get that arm down around the waist, they'll let you go. If you cover up the enemy's number, put your arm right across number 72, they'll see that and throw that flag.
That was Leon Johnson, by the way, the running back. So they move it back, and it's 1st and 20. The delay, and again it's Johnson. He's brought down at the 28-yard line.
Tomlinson, since he ran into Boston, he went over. I watched him. He took his helmet off, and he took a towel and he cleaned out the inside of his helmet. And now he's back in here. He wears that shield. To wear that shield, you have to have a doctor prescribing you have to wear that shield. You just can't put on a black shield. You got to have a doctor's note. It's like going to the principal's office. You got to have permission to wear that black shield.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. With our score, San Diego 7, Detroit nothing, and we'll return to Ford Field right after these messages. Marty Schottenheimer pleased with the start for his troops. And you're watching the NFL on CBS. second quarter here at Ford Field in Detroit. Chargers lead at 7-0. Second down. Flutie steps up, plenty of time, and up the sidelines. Caldwell all alone. And now there's a flag.
Wow.
So touchdown San Diego, but let's see if it stands.
I don't know what happened to Otis Smith, but he wasn't even running and chasing, and that's the corner that was out there. Maybe there's a push and a shove. And Sean Rogers, the defensive tackle, got way in the backfield after the quarterback.
The flag was in the vicinity of the reception. Play covered 72 yards. And it's going to be against San Diego.
Must have shoved Otis Smith, because I've never seen Otis not try, not chase, and Otis wasn't in the picture.
No one was in the picture.
He must have shoved Otis down or something. I saw Otis about 12, 14 yards behind him, and Otis is an older guy, been everywhere, played in New York, played in New England, but he's an effort guy. He's an all-out spill your guts guy, and when I looked, he wasn't doing that, so something happened.
In his 14th year out of Missouri.
14 years as a corner is not like 14 years as an offensive lineman. That means you still got your running, your change, your direction skills.
Walt Anderson and his crew making sure they got it right.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on number 82 of the offensive team. Taunting while he was running in for the score. That penalty is declined, as to enforce that foul would result in a touchdown. We do have illegal touching on number 82 of the offense. He went out of bounds and was the first player to touch the pass when he came back inbounds. That's a 5-yard penalty. We will replay second down.
Wow. So really, when he goes out of bounds, right here, the official should throw his baseball hat. That means you're out of bounds. He is out of bounds. There goes the hat. He threw the hat, so they're right on top of it. But look in here. I can't believe that. That's Otis. And now, taunting. Marty will be hollering at that player.
If he was offsides, it would have been a hat trick. So they bring it back. Caldwell heard from Marty Schottenheimer on the sideline.
Wow. But you could see the official was on top. When he throws his baseball hat, that means you cannot be the first guy in for the reception.
2nd and 23 for San Diego. Push it back to the 23-yard line. Flutie will throw it. Tomlinson, nice little move, and dives down to the 40. Tomlinson picks up 17, the Chargers' leading rusher and leading receiver.
Here he is, and he just runs. This is called this is what you call a close over. And look at the tight ends coming across from the other side, so he can block. Really, that was David Boston, the wide receiver, so they bring people across in front of Tomlinson receiving the ball, so they got a couple blockers after the catch. Kind of a sweet play.
Despite the gain, it will still be 3rd and 6. Flutie will go from the shotgun. Sim Osgood was the motion man. They go to Osgood, and he steps out of bounds after making the first down by, it looks like, a yard.
And a nice job with the feet. This reminds me of you when I watched you dance last night. Watch his toes. He's going to have Osgood. This is going to be Osgood running. This is called an arrow. Arrow is to the sideline. Now watch his feet, Bill. This is you last night. Ooh, I like that. First down.
I wish I could move like that. Osgood, the rookie out of San Diego State, caught his first touchdown pass in the NFL in the loss to Denver, and getting his first start this week in place of Ishe Caldwell, who has struggled with consistency hanging on to the football. Tomlinson, the left side, he hesitates, and that's one of the things the Lions said they wanted to keep him from doing, to keep him from being patient. You saw the hesitation there. He waits for the lanes to unfold, and then he makes his choices. And Flutie was telling us 99% of the time he makes the right cuts.
And look at Detroit. They're all chasing now that they did get him to bounce outside. And what we heard yesterday was don't chase too quick or he'll cut it back. Be sure he is going outside before the chase starts. That's hard to hold yourself and wait.
San Diego has been dominant. Also in time of possession, they've had the ball for 12.5 minutes, and they have another first down. David Boston. Detroit has had the football only 4 minutes.
Well, Detroit's all zone. Bend but don't break, but they're getting tired of what you're seeing. So they bring the blitz. The blitz is coming off. 2 people off, 1 blocking back, so you got a free man. So you got to hot the ball out. Bring the ball out to David Boston. Good catch.
That was a pickup of 13.
Against the blitz, you don't see Detroit blitz. They play everything a soft zone. That was a changeup trying to stop him from having a long drive.
Caldwell in motion. Quick pass out to the right side. Oh, what a great move by Boston. A big man, but tremendous quickness.
The corner was so far off. So this becomes, when you call this is an X screen. Well, an X screen, see how far off the corner is? You only keep it on if the corner is that far off, and that's Bly missing the open field tackle. As good as Bly played last week, he didn't tackle well last week.
And Bly has been struggling with a hamstring injury. Said he didn't know from week to week, day to day, whether or not he was going to be able to go full speed. Here's the tail of the tape. Bly on Boston today, and there you see David Boston, just a big man, 6'2", close to 230.
And Bill has been as high as 260. So you call the X screen. If the corner's up, it comes off. The fact that the corner's off that far, well, let's watch the fake. Out, in. He did make him go inside. What Bly did good there, if you're a high school player, you turn him back inside. Bly did not let him make the play to the outside and the sideline. That way it would have been a touchdown.
That was a pickup of 12, so another first down and another good drive for San Diego. 9 plays, 55 yards, almost 5.5 minutes.
There's Marty. Let's go.
Flutie brings him up from the 25. Just over 12 minutes remaining in the first half. The Lions and the Chargers. San Diego threatening, leading 7-0. Tomlinson spins back inside and down to the 23-yard line. We mentioned that San Diego has gotten off to poor starts. It seems like every week, and there you see the numbers to back it up. That's the worst in the NFL. They've been outscored 209 to 112 in the first half.
And that takes LaDainian out of the game, because if you get behind, nobody wants to run. You can't win the game. So Marty wants a handoff to him, and LaDainian wants the ball, but the score dictates as to if your game plan changes or not.
2nd and 8. Flutie keeps it. Boot to the right side. And that's picked off. That's a very poorly thrown ball. And a fumble. And San Diego may have it back, still loose.
Now Detroit has it.
That was some play.
Wow. And you called it, Bill. That was a terrible throw. That throw had no chance at any time. He ran the bootleg, and he had Lorenzo Neal shallow, but he threw the ball back in there deep.
And that has Schottenheimer shaking his head.
There's Lorenzo.
So the Lions stop San Diego with the turnover. We'll be back to Ford Field right after these messages. Well, Dre Bly ended up with the football. He had that tremendous performance against Green Bay on Thanksgiving. 2 interceptions and a forced fumble. The leading vote getter in the Pro Bowl balloting at cornerback, and another timely turnover for the Lions. And they run a screen to start things out, and that is read perfectly.
That was Ben Lieber.
Big hit by Ben Lieber, the strong side linebacker.
They had 3 blockers, and they all thought somebody else was going to get Big Ben. They had it set up good, and things aren't going good for Detroit. They go back and they run the screen. Well, Ben's probably studied the same film we had. Look at the blockers. We got 3 blockers out front. Ray Brown couldn't make the contact on it.
Second year out of Kansas State. Boy, they looked good last night against Oklahoma. Wow.
Talk about speed.
Some game. Lions keep it on the ground, and there's no gain on the play, and that will bring out the Boo Birds and bring up 3rd and 5. Lieber again leading the charge.
I thought when you said Boo Birds, I thought of the quarterback, Joey Harrington. He told us he's had a heck of a time here. He's been booed and he's been benched. And I said, welcome to Detroit. Anybody's been to Detroit's been booed, including Santa Claus.
Well, he said that, you know, the injuries have been very difficult for this offense, and there are times in the huddle when he's not even sure who his receivers are. He has to kind of check the names to make sure he knows who's in the game. So 3rd and long for Detroit, and a flag will stop play.
They had a nice little pick play with Corey Schlesinger, the fullback, going to the flat before they stopped it.
Before the snap, false start, 84, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And Bill Schrader, the wide receiver.
That makes you mad when the wide receiver is offsides. He should be looking in. Oh, he broke his knees. He cracked his knees. By breaking his knees, he squatted. And he's supposed to look at the ball and never move till the ball is snapped. Even though he knows the snap count, the wide receiver looks in to see the ball move.
So they move it back 5 yards. Again, 3rd and long, up the sidelines, incomplete, overthrown. It was intended for Schrader.
Not a good throw there. They had no chance when that left Joey's hand. Nobody had a chance of catching that.
Now, Joey told us he feels like he's still the same guy that he was when he was playing at Oregon. Confident, feels like he can make the throws necessary to win in the NFL, but he did admit to us that he's struggled at times, and it's been tough with the offense because of all the injuries here in Detroit. Leon Johnson standing back on his own 25-yard line. Harris set to punt once again from his own 15.
Punt block is on. They're trying to block.
Gets it away, and another excellent punt. Fair catch called for and made by Johnson at the 25. And that's where San Diego will take over 1st and 10, a 44-yard punt. 8:56 left to play in the half.
On CBS is sponsored by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans. And by FedEx. You can always rely on the ultimate in reliable shipping. Relax, it's FedEx.
We're back. Joey Harrington only 2 of 6 for 6 yards as the Lions have been unable to get anything going offensively. This game has been dominated statistically by San Diego. 10 first downs, only 1 for the Lions, and only 21 total yards for Detroit. 1st and 10 from the 21. Tomlinson gets it out to the 30-yard line. Earl Holmes again made the tackle for the Lions.
And they're getting a good push, and we expect the Detroit tackles, the defensive tackles, to rear up here on their hind legs and kick like a wild horse, because they're the ones that have to stop this thing.
And the Lions held Ahman Green at just 57 yards on 13 carries on Thanksgiving. So they're coming off a very solid performance against an outstanding back. Little trickery from San Diego. Flutie to Boston, who's all alone, and a great catch by David Boston.
This was a double dipper. I think Marty's back into his old playbook. He's going to throw it. A little pitch here to Danian. It's a toss sweep. Get going. It's a toss sweep. Now he's got to be behind him, which he is. Legal play. That's a lateral, so then he can throw the forward pass. Oh, he went up and got it. Nice job by Boston. Just about the time you get mad at Boston and you don't like everything he's doing, he'll make a play that nobody else can make.
And that's a pickup of 33 yards.
Got a flag on the field.
Before the snap, false start, number 63, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
They call that on Kelvin Garman, the left guard. Let's take a look at David Boston today. He's certainly been a presence here in the early going.
Nice catch. Look at those hands. Huh?
Matched up on Dre Bly. And the remarkable thing is how well he moves for a big man. 4 receptions, 66 yards so far for Boston. From the 43, and there's again movement in the line.
Porsche is saying, Courtney Van Buren, you're moving.
He's one of those rookies.
Number 72.
That's who it was.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Van Buren, one of the rookies on the right side. He's out of Arkansas Pine Bluff, a 3rd-round draft pick. Phil Bogle is the right guard. He's out of New Haven.
How do you keep a drive going when you have your offensive lineman either holding on first down or you got illegal movement? I don't know how a quarterback gets his rhythm. I don't know if anybody could keep a drive going with all this happening on every time you're moving down the field.
So after the dust settles, 1st and 20. Flutie with the short drop. Comes it out to Tomlinson. And he told us he thought LaDainian was going to have a big day catching the football. Well, it's a huge Sunday around the National Football League. For an update, let's check in New York.
All right, thank you, Billy Mack. And the coach, Colts and the Titans, it's Steve McNair from 2 yards out and a 10-6 lead. Colts just got a field goal from Vanderjagt, 10-6. Second quarter, let's go back to Bill and Jerry.
Well, the Colts blew Tennessee out in week 2 at the RCA Dome, 33-7. And that's a big game. Playoff implications in the AFC South. Both teams 9-3 coming in. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Tomlinson and another outstanding run, making something out of nothing. Well, Cincinnati and Baltimore, another big game in the National Football League. Here again, Jim Nantz.
All right, guys, Marcus Robinson. Check it out. Now 6 touchdowns in the last 9 quarters. Hauls it in the corner and a 14-3 Baltimore lead. Let's go back to you.
Thank you, Jim. From Anthony Wright, and there was a great piece on Anthony Wright on the NFL Today, and what a story he's become in the last 2 weeks. Cincinnati and Baltimore tied at 7-5.
A little noise from the crowd on 3rd down. It's the first time the crowd got into it, Bill.
3rd and 11. Flutie takes off and throws it away, well short of Reshake Caldwell.
Good pressure by the front for Detroit. It's the first time they pressured and made Flutie run out when he really did not want to run out.
So Darren Bennett will come out, stand back at his own 46-yard line on 4th and 11. Eddie Drummond, once again the deep man.
Standing at the 10. Don't back up, Eddie.
Well, it's a nice high kick.
What a punt.
Drummond with the fair catch at the 11-yard line. A 29-yard punt, but effective. And that's where Detroit will start when we come back. Back in Detroit, and December 7th is a date that will live in infamy. NFL.com looks back at what it was like for the fans and players who were at the games on that day. Read all about it at NFL.com or at NFL on AOL. Well, the Lions with only 21 yards in total offense. That's the bad news, but the good news is the Chargers have crossed midfield in their last 2 possessions and came away empty. On 1st down, Gary. Left side with some room. And a 1st down for Detroit. Jerry Wilson, the free safety, made the stop.
Well, if you got to get going, let's follow your 41-year-old. There's 61. That's Ray Brown. And Schlesinger, the fullback, trying to get a block. And he does break outside around the corner. And a nice block by the split receiver, Billy Schrader. You got to have a wide receiver to make a block downfield. He did a good job.
That was a pickup of 16. The Lions' longest rush from scrimmage this year is 28 yards. So no big plays on the ground for Detroit. They keep it on the ground. Close to the 30. Gary again the ball carrier.
Following that fullback.
Marcellus Wiley made the tackle for San Diego. 2nd and 7. Orlandis Gary was signed in the preseason after James Stewart went down in his 5th year out of Georgia, acquired in a trade with Buffalo.
They're really, when you have backs by committee, ordinarily, you're really not happy with any of them. You're looking for somebody else.
Gary split out wide to the right.
Oh, here's an audible.
Harrington said he doesn't do this very often.
He said 5 times, maybe 6. There's an audible.
Beat the play clock and get it out to Casey Fitzsimmons, the tight end, and he is pushed back immediately. He had 16 catches coming in for 115 yards, and Quentin Jammer was all over that play.
Well, the audible to that's a Y shoot. That means the tight end is just going as hard as he can to the sideline, and when you do catch it, if anybody's near you, you're not going to pick up much yardage. He's right here, and this is Y shoot, Z slant. There's the shoot, and the corner got right off the slant. Came right up in there. Quentin Jammer, he's getting to play better and better every week. That's a rookie. He came off his Z slant and picked up the Y shoot.
3rd and 6. Harrington under pressure, guns it to the sideline, and did he have possession? No. Juggling it as he went out of bounds. Oz Hakeem was the intended receiver, and that will bring up another punting situation for Detroit.
Oh boy.
Goodness, that was almost picked off by Jerry Wilson.
Nice play.
Awfully close. For the Lions, 4 possessions, and this is their 4th punt.
Really, they've had that one long run, that breakout. But they sure got a punter, Bill.
Good high kick taken at the 23-yard line by Leon Johnson, and this is a nice return. A flag on the play. Johnson is into Detroit territory, brought down at the 46, but they may bring this back. 45-yard punt, Jerry. A 31-yard return, but this is going to be against San Diego.
During the return, holding number 23, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, timeout.
Well, that was Quentin Jammer, so the big return will be negated. We'll be back to Detroit in a moment.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Canon. With thousands of products and one simple idea, giving people know-how. Canon know-how. And by Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold, down, easy.
They bring it back to the 23, and that's where San Diego will take over with 2:56 remaining in the half. The fans continue to be very supportive here in Detroit despite the Lions' woes. Their win total this year, 4, better than each of the last 2 seasons. So people sort of trying to view this as a half-full situation, and that's a 2-yard loss.
Shaun Rogers, you can't talk about this. I got to show this to you. Shaun Rogers, this is a giddy up off the ball. He is so explosive. He's right here. Big baby, they call him. Does that look like a big baby to you? Wow.
He says, you know, that's true. He said, I'm big baby, and Dan is Big Daddy, and he said, you know, I'm all of that and more. He said, I just get really high and really low, and Wilkinson actually has done a good job keeping me grounded. Flutie will throw on 2nd down. Gates, the tight end, he dives forward out to the 28-yard line, and he jumped over Dre Bly. So he's shooting for the legs. So 2:05 remaining in the half. 3rd and 6.
There they are. This one here is Big Daddy, and they call him Big Baby, and they both lost about 30 pounds, and I think that's why they're playing so good this year. They got their weight down and running excellent. How would you like to have to block those? You and I are the offensive guards.
I don't think so.
And we break the huddle, and we see those two.
Detroit took a timeout, by the way, with 2:01 left in the half. Rogers, getting back to Shaun for a moment, had a disappointing season last year, and he told us that Dan really has been a steadying influence. He said he's the big baby, as he called himself, and he said, you know, this guy has allowed me to focus more, and he keeps bringing me back when I get off on a tangent. He said he's really helped me a lot.
They're fun to watch on film. Before you do this game, you sit in a room and you put the film on and you're watching both teams. And when you watch Detroit, you end up watching Big Baby and Big Daddy.
Well, coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report, join Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer for all today's scores and highlights on a big Sunday with playoff implications everywhere around the National Football League. That's all coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report.
The crowd's coming on 3rd down.
3rd and 6. Flutie from the shotgun. Guns it complete. This is going to be a 1st down and lots more. Tomlinson. No one will catch him. Wow. LaDainian Tomlinson, a 73-yard touchdown reception.
Everybody misjudges his speed. They think they have the angle on him, and he just runs away from everybody. This guy is gifted. He's right here. He's going to run that same what's called a close over. Close over. Should have got help right here. That should have had a combination coverage for the linebacker. But watch, nobody can catch him. Runs right through the whole defense. Wow, Caldwell put his hands up as quick as you did. Caldwell was on the field. He said, touchdown. That's our man.
Well, Doug Flutie told us LaDainian was going to have a big day catching the football. 4 receptions, 110 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Tomlinson. And that quieted the crowd in a hurry.
Well, Barrett Green had him. That was the linebacker, but he was expecting inside help from the nickel safety. And the nickel safety came down and didn't help him, and it was over.
One of the Lions is down on the field at about the 40-yard line, so that has halted play. There's LaDainian Tomlinson, who gave an awful lot of respect this week to Barry Sanders. And they help up Corey Harris, and I think Corey went down, was actually brought down by his own teammate, trying to converge on Tomlinson.
He had the inside cuts of Tomlinson, where Barrett Green had the outside cuts, so they were a combination of them. Nothing makes you matter when you're a coach and you got 2-on-1 and that one guy scores a touchdown.
Well, one of the areas where the Lions had been injury-free this year was at linebacker. Holmes, Bailey, and Green really had been solid all year, but now, as you watch Harris go off the field, it looks like they're going to be a little thin at linebacker. The extra point is up and good. 1:54 left in the half, and it's 14-0 San Diego. And for LT, a career-long touchdown reception. His totals. Second quarter has just been a nightmare for the Lions. They've been outscored 112-39 in the second quarter this year.
And he also was leading this team in receptions as well, of course, in rushing.
Drummond fights his way out to the 26-yard line. Barrett Green, by the way, is okay, the weak side linebacker, but Corey Harris is not.
And they're the two that were running combination coverage on LT. LaDainian was inside-outside coverage, and he ran right through it.
So another injury for the Lions. Both of these teams have had great difficulty this year with injuries. Harrington trying to get something going for this Detroit offense. 149 left to play in the half. 3 of 8 for 8 yards. Harrington, plenty of time. Hakeem can't hang on once again. That's the second drop for Oz Hakeem.
He missed practice. Here's the scoring play. We're going to show you the combination coverage. You'll see right here the linebacker has outside. He has inside help. He's supposed to go to the inside cut, and he cut it off way too shallow, and that's where he got hurt. He tripped over his own linebacker. And now the safety, Otis Smith, has to make the tackle, and he couldn't run with it. Not fast enough.
Good block downfield from Riche Caldwell. 2nd and 10. Harrington. Intended for Reggie Swinton, almost made a great one-handed catch, and then it was almost picked off. But it will bring up 3rd and 10. Jerry Wilson, the free safety, had a shot at it.
Reggie just reached out with one. You'll see just the right hand. Well, he did a good job because they were holding his left hand down. Jerry Wilson had his left hand down on his hip.
Trying to duplicate the amazing reception made by Mike Williams from USC.
What a catch yesterday.
A touchdown catch against Oregon State yesterday. That was some grab.
One grab with one hand, and he never did anything. He kept it in one hand.
Said he was just having fun out there. 3rd and 10 for the Lions. They're going to run the screen. They're trying to. A flag is down on the play. Bryson brought down well short of the first down.
Now, Bill,
it's going to be holding on Detroit, and this Lions offense is just a mess.
Let me ask you, why would you hold on the screen? On the screen, you want them to get back there. As if you're this coach right here, there's my sidekick, Mariucci. He's got to be crazy. If you're going to hold, you're holding to protect your quarterback. You don't hold on the screen when you want them to eventually get back there.
You would think that this would be a penalty that San Diego would decline. Get the football back, give Flutie a little over a minute to work with. 42 total yards for Detroit.
Holding, number 79, offense. That penalty is declined. Inside of 2 minutes, because the clock is stopped because of the penalty, San Diego is not charged with a timeout. The clock will start on the snap.
Very good. And Anderson sorting things out for us. So once again, we're going to see Nick Harris, who's been very busy here in the first half.
And the Chargers have their 3 timeouts remaining.
Again, Leon Johnson, the deep man for San Diego, back at the Chargers 30. 1:26 left to play in the half. Gets it away. Another high punt taken by Johnson at the 31. Trying to go back to the right, but brought down immediately at the 36-yard line after a 48-yard punt, a 4-yard return. And once again, coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join the fellas, Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer, for all of today's scores and highlights. Big games all over the National Football League today. Indianapolis and Tennessee, Cincinnati and Baltimore. They'll have all the highlights. That's coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Well, this hasn't been close.
No.
Flutie dominating at that one bad throw, the interception.
And that was a bad one. That was ugly.
But 2 touchdown passes. And the Chargers looking for more here. 1st and 10, Flutie from the shotgun. Steps up, Tomlinson on the exact same route that he scored on a touchdown. And this time, he's brought down, but in Detroit territory.
And this time they got cover 2, so they made the same play. It was zone, but Flutie knows where to dump that ball off. He knows he's going to find LT and get him the football.
Pickup of 17. The Chargers take a timeout. 1:05 left in the half, and they're in Detroit territory. And a fumble stripped away from behind. And Detroit has the football. And they're saying that he stepped out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. So they'll bring it back, and we'll see if the turnover will stand. That's Jeff Gooch, the backup linebacker.
Well, Jeff Gooch had everybody standing. The crowd had been sitting down pretty quiet, but they all got to their feet. Looked like Gooch was going to score a touchdown.
The result of the play is a fumble recovered by Detroit. Holding, number 79, offense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Solomon Page getting the start today. He's called for the penalty, but Flutie had 2 turnovers late in the game against Kansas City. And this has been a problem. Stripped away, looks like from behind.
Nice
it was.
Swat. Nice swat. Swatted the ball right out of his hands. Watch to the swat here. 96 is James Hall, and he swats the ball. Oh, Gooch, stay in bounds.
Right there.
Ooh,
and
not by much.
The official was right on top of him. So Harrington back to work. 54 seconds remaining in the half, and he'll throw on first down. Bryson into San Diego territory, down to the 46. And now we hear from the Lions fans.
They got 2 timeouts left, but he's not using it here.
That was a pickup of 12. And driven hard out of bounds at the 41-yard line. That was complete to Reggie Swinton, the ex-Cowboy.
Not much gain, just a little shoot play there.
The Lions have one of the best kickers in the National Football League, Jason Hanson, who was the NFC Special Teams Player of the Month in November, had 5 field goals against Green Bay. 18 of 19 coming in with a long of 54.
And I watched him in the pregame warm-up and never missed anything.
Second down.
Good pass, but
Harrington. Plenty of time. That gets it down to the 40, Bryson. And this time the Lions take a timeout. 24 seconds remaining in the first half. 14-0 San Diego. The Lions offense starting to come to life here after the turnover. They picked up 20 yards on this drive. 3rd and short. 24 seconds left in the half. Harrington straight back at the short drop, and that's caught by Michael Ricks, the former Charger, and that gives the Lions a first down.
And jumps out of bounds. Good job. He knew what he had to do. He wanted to get 4 more cracks on downs and stop that clock.
Ricks, who was drafted by the Chargers in the 2nd round in 1998, 2 touchdowns on the year in his 6th year out of Stephen F. Austin. There in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Oh, you love that Texas. You know every town in Texas.
I lived in most of them. First down, clock running inside of 20 seconds remaining. Harrington, Bryson, and again dropped immediately at the 30.
Not a good throw unless you're just lining up a field goal.
Now look at Harrington kind of curling that right hand over. He might have hit it on someone's helmet, grimacing just a little bit. They stopped the clock with 12 seconds left in the half. And let's see if we can pick up an injury here.
He's hiding that hand from the coach. Maybe hit the face mask. Maybe hit Wiley's face mask. He didn't hit the top of the helmet. He has that finger which was dislocated, taped up. He had it taped when we talked to him in the meeting. And I think he stung it.
And the Lions finally getting something going offensively here late in the first half.
If they kick a field goal, then I think Joey should change his jersey number. He's wearing
you don't like that the kicker has a higher number than the quarterback?
I hate when the line, look at the line, they're staring at Joey, and he's got on a 3, and there's big 73 saying, I guess we're going for 3. He should have a 7.
Lions have doubled their first down total on this drive. They now have 4 from the 30. 12 seconds left. Harrington in the seam. That's a nice catch. The Lions are up quickly. They're not letting him come down, and that's Bill Schrader. And time runs out.
Wow.
And that drive is really a microcosm for the kind of season it's been for Detroit. That was a pickup of 25, but they couldn't stop the clock.
Well, you have to know better than to put the ball there, because and San Diego, you got to talk about San Diego. They did a good job of holding them up, not putting them on the ground. Don't stop the play. Let the clock look at them. They're not trying to put them on the ground. Stop the clock. Pretty nice, huh? Marty, you outfoxed him again.
They got the job done. So another difficult second quarter for the Lions. The Chargers in a rare situation, leading going into halftime, 14-0. That's the end of the first half. We'll be back with the Nextel halftime report after this message and a